All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. This is actually my third time presenting at 1 Million Cups. So yeah, I always love being here. I love what 1 Million Cups does for the Wichita entrepreneurial community. So first time I presented, I was a W-2 employee at a startup. Second time I presented, I was David Accow Training. And then January 1st of this year, I rebranded as NPWR. So I'm super excited to share what we've been up to this past year. So my name is David Accow. A lot of people know me as Trainer Dave. I was born and raised here in Wichita. I am a former athlete. I went to Friends University. I got my degree in health and physical education. Been a trainer for about 4 years now. I started my first couple of years. I started off at the YMCA. Then I was, again, a W-2 at another gym. And then now I've been my own LLC for almost a year now. And it's been just super exciting and super rewarding, being on my own. So I run my business, again, NPWR Training. We're located inside of Foundations Fitness in downtown Wichita on Douglas. Fairly new facility. We've been open about 2 years now. Very clean, spacious facility, lots of new equipment, got pretty much everything you need to train. So this is kind of a look at who we are and our clientele. Probably my biggest target demographic is athletes. So we work with a lot of high school athletes, we work with a lot of youth, we've worked with college, we do work with a little bit of adults as well. But we've worked with people as young as 5 years old, worked with adults. So it's been a lot of diverse backgrounds, a lot of different sports, different ages, but that's probably my favorite part about what I do is just building relationships, getting to know people on a personal level, and just becoming friends and family for life. So I'm going to talk real quick about just the mental benefits of what I do with sports performance training and personal training. I like to talk a lot about the mental benefits. So increasing self-confidence is probably the number one thing. Helping younger kids, younger athletes believe in themselves, being that mentor and guidance to them. I want them to have fun. I want them to look forward to coming to their session every week. A lot of time I train kids in group settings, and especially with summertime, I have a summer camp I'm running later today, and for some of these kids, that might be the only time they get to interact with other kids. So social interaction and helping them learn how to work together as a team, and then just teaching them life lessons, teaching them to work hard for their goals, teaching them to show up on time. It's all super important. And then the physical benefits. This is what a lot of people think more about with sports performance training. Is things like becoming a better athlete, running faster, jumping higher, getting stronger and more powerful, improving their agility, improving their hand-eye coordination. Those are all things that are going to come with sports performance training, and I think ultimately when we see these things happen, we see an increase in self-confidence. Yeah. And then also, of course, improving balance, and biggest thing, preventing injury. We don't want our athletes to get hurt in their sport. So teaching our muscles to become more resilient through the weight room, it's going to really help prevent injury. So I've got a quick little video of just some youth athletes. I think this was from a fundraiser workout I ran. We have a bunch of different abilities, ages in here. So I'll just play this real quick. So that is my presentation. Here you got my contact info. We got our website. social media. Got a little QR code if you want to scan that, and would love to connect with you. So thank you guys.
Anybody have any questions?
Thank you so much. And first of all, congratulations. I've never heard this audience so quiet. We're going to play tiny, low music in the background all the time now. See if that works. But, so tell us a little bit about owning your own business versus working for someone else. What's that change been like for you? The good, the bad, the ugly?
Yeah, so I think I've been pretty blessed. I mean, I think it was beneficial for me to work underneath other gyms and being underneath a brand as opposed to just diving right into owning my own business. I always tried to have that owner's mentality, even when I was at the YMCA. Like, especially when you're a personal trainer, like you kind of are your own business. People are coming for the trainer most of the time, and so having that mentality was really helped. I think it made it a smooth transition for me when I started running my own business. But I think the stress has gone up because when I wasn't the owner, I didn't have any skin in the game. If things failed, it really wasn't all on me. But now I'm 100%, writing my own paychecks. So I think the biggest thing is like I can't point fingers on anybody else. I think it all lies on my shoulders, and if I fail, I think that's ultimately on me, and I have to find a way to pivot and fix those things.
Time, Jim. How fast you up here? So, great presentation. How do you reach your market? Since you're marketing to kids, you're marketing to adults, how are you getting your clientele?
Yeah, great question. It's been really, that's another kind of thing with being a business owner is just marketing, because I've become a lot more pushy with marketing and sales just because I've kind of come to the realization that, if I can't sell somebody, I can't really help them. And ultimately, with training youth, I am marketing more so towards the parents, and I think something that's helped me out a lot is I think a lot of sports performance gyms you see, they're marketing more towards the elite, high-level athletes, and to me that really isn't necessarily my target market. I do work with a lot of high-level elite athletes I would consider, but I work a lot, I make a big focus on increasing self-confidence, and I think I market a lot towards the underdogs, and I think a lot of parents want to pay for somebody to mentor their kids and to pour into their kids, and so that's been big. Social media has been huge. I post every single day. I get a lot of high school athletes. A lot of high school athletes are on social media these days, so a lot of times they'll reach out to me directly, and then usually from there I'm able to kind of get in contact with their parents. And then just getting out into the community, shaking hands. My business has grown a lot from word of mouth. And so I'd say social media and word of mouth have probably been the two biggest forms of marketing for me.
Hello. I love the rustic look of your building, first off. I love that. Secondly, it seems like your niche is very specific. Do you have another competitor in town that does exactly what you do?
Yeah, great question. I try to think no. We have a lot of gyms in town. There are definitely gyms that market more towards athletes. I just think every trainer, every gym is unique. Everybody's got their specialties. So I would say no, that's not the way I look at it. I look at it more of collaboration over competition. Unfortunately, not everybody thinks that way, but it's been really awesome. Actually, one of my biggest referral sources have been from other trainers in the area. I think that's been big. I have a lot of trainers that maybe their target market is adults, and so if they get any youth leads, they're going to send them my way, and then vice versa. If I get somebody that's not necessarily would be the best fit for me, I have a network of trainers that I can refer out to. So ultimately, I would probably say no. I wouldn't. I don't think there's anybody that's doing exactly what I'm doing.
Thanks for coming back. My question is regarding how to broaden your business. Have you given any thought about contacting the schools with flyers, starting I guess 5th and 6th graders, middle school, that age group, so for this summer or even next summer, that parents will have to know that you have a camp, that kids would say, okay, I want to be better at this, where they might encourage their parents, or for those who are low income, maybe some grants, look for people in the community to do grants and stuff for those kids to be able to come to.
Absolutely. Yeah, great question. That is something I've done, and I've had a little bit of success. So something I've done these past month or two is a lot of schools will have career fairs, and I'll go and present. I'll bring some of my fun equipment there, and kids can try it out. And that's been a great way for me to get in front of the kids and get into the schools. I was pretty lucky with Derby High School. They brought me in kind of as their contracted speed and agility coach. And that was pretty cool. I think it's been a challenge because you definitely have to have those ins. You have to know somebody for them to recommend you to their athletes and to their students. I love the idea of grants, and that's something I would love to do, is because not everybody can afford training, and so if we or like something like scholarships that I could give out to kids that might come from low income families. So that's something I would love to do, and if anybody knows more about grants, definitely please keep me in mind, because I'd love to look more into that, because I love finding ways to give back to the community. So yeah, I think that's probably been, I think it's a great idea and something I would love to do more of.
On the business end of things, did you already know how to put this business together, or did you have to get help along the way?
Yeah, great question. Yes and no. So I was at a startup gym before this, and so I kind of got to see the business side just as a trainer and as an employee, and that definitely helped. I think I was pretty good with the importance of social media and marketing, and I was pretty good at bringing in a clientele, so that helped. I've been just super blessed. Like, my mom is a CPA, so she's been helping me with the bookkeeping side of things. I have a great network of other entrepreneurs that have given me tips and advice and encouragement. I did hire a business consultant. That was one of the first things I did as I started my business, and then also at the Kansas, I think SBDC, with Brandy's organization. That's been great. I mean, there's just so many free resources, so many people that are just willing to give you advice and help you along the way. So I'd say, like, yes and no. There's definitely been obstacles. I feel like I'm still kind of learning it as I go, but it's been good so far.
Yes, this your gymnasium that you just showed your young men working out with the ropes and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where is it located at?
Yeah, so it's called Foundations Fitness, 2512 East Douglas Avenue is the address. So it's kind of across the street from Wichita East, and it's literally like right next to Douglas Social. Kind of hidden, but once you find it that first time, you find it. But yeah, it's a great location, being downtown, centrally located. We have kids coming from athletes coming from all over, from Derby, Goddard, Bel Air. So it's been great.
I have a question. You talked about your outside network and resources, like referring other people to trainers and stuff if you feel like they're not a good fit.
Yeah.
Are there any, holes or gaps in your network, like certain connections you'd like to have but currently don't? Or
Yeah, great question. Not necessarily. I feel like I have a pretty good network of people. You know, I've got chiropractors, physical therapists, massage therapists, sport coaches. I mean, I love coming to 1 Million Cups because you meet people from other industries that aren't necessarily in the health and fitness industry. So it's always good knowing somebody for web design, marketing, social media, real estate, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like I've done a pretty good job of being well connected. But again, I always love meeting new people and expanding my network.
So I run a lot in the disability community circles, and I was wondering, have you ever thought about having either camps or classes tailored toward those with special needs in the autism community? You know, Down syndrome need extra exercise, do the heart stuff.
Great question. So I work with people that I might consider, you know, to be special needs. I do have a young man I'm trained that has autism. I worked with a gentleman that was in a wheelchair. I can't remember what his condition was, but I have worked with those populations. As of now, I think it works best for me to train them in more of a one-on-one setting, just because, again, if they do a group, they should probably be around more of special needs. I do have a friend of mine that's another trainer that she specializes specifically kind of in that area, so I would probably feel a little bit more comfortable referring out to her, but no, it's definitely a great idea.
Good morning. You spoke about instilling confidence in your young people that you work with, and I don't remember the first time you spoke, but I remember the last time. And I want to compliment you on your self-confidence and your presence in your presentation. But I have a question about you rebranded in January, you said?
Yes.
So can you share a little bit about why and what NPWR means and where it came from?
Absolutely. So I originally was just David a cow training. I always kind of hated it just because, I want to make my company bigger than myself. I don't necessarily want my name attached. I know a lot of people go that route, and you can be successful that way, but I didn't want it to come down I was trying to think long term. I didn't want 3-4 years down the line, I didn't want everybody just wanting to train with David a cow. You know, I want to bring on other trainers, other coaches to help me grow the business. So that was a big decision making. I wanted it to be bigger than myself. I came up with the name NPWR. Our mission statement is to empower underdogs to achieve their full potential through unwavering support and guidance. So it really comes down from that word empower. I love that word because that's what we're doing every day, is we're helping lift others up and helping them grow and become more confident. And so that's been a little bit of a challenge. I think a lot of people think it stands for something, NPWR, but it really is just kind of this acronym of the word empower.
I love that you work with kids that don't have confidence, and you said that. Give us an example, if you would, of someone who has benefited from the environment that you put them in. I love the athleticism, but tell us about the confidence and how that made a difference in their lives.
For sure, yeah. That is, again, I could probably have a handful of stories I could think of. I posted something on social media the other day, but, you know, I have a lot of kids. It's kind of sad, but it's, you know, they hate going to school. They're considered socially awkward. They don't have very many friends. And so I think I've had some kids that, you know, maybe if they're doing one-on-one training, I might be like the only interaction that they have throughout the day. And I was once that kid. When I was in high school, I wasn't the most confident kid. I didn't have very many friends. And so the gym was something that really helped increase my self-confidence and helped me believe in myself. And so that's why it's such a passion of mine, because I know how it can change somebody's life. You know, I've had parents tell me about how their kids are just so much more confident and And to me, that's the biggest win. It's not necessarily if they make it to college. It's just helping them become better human beings and just helping them believe in themselves.
All right, well, that brings us to our final question. What can Wichita community do for you?
Yeah, so the Wichita community, I've been overwhelmed these past, I think it's been about 11 months, coming up on 1 year in business. I've been just overwhelmed by the amount of support I've received, and I definitely am going to need it more and more as I continue to grow. I'd say it doesn't always have to be in the form of money. I understand not everyone's going to become a client of mine, and that's okay. But I just ask that everybody can try to keep me in mind. If it's something as little as you see a small business grant that I might be able to apply for, sending it my way, or else if you know of any younger athletes or kids that could use my help, trying to refer them to me, and then just something as little as sharing one of my posts on social media, that goes a long way. So, yeah, thank you guys.